course, our area is no stranger to booms or shaking, you know, between that and what they have going on with, not Tesla, but what is it? SpaceX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
There's
depends
always
on where
something.
you're at. See, I don't really hear SpaceX where I'm at, but where I'm at, yeah, we hear Fort Hood. And my husband, being from the Panhandle, when we first moved here, was like, are we okay?
What
and
is
I was
happening?
like, no, I grew up here, so I don't hear it.
But
like he
sometimes
does.
they give you a heads up on the military training activities out at Fort Hood. So I think it just caught people a little bit by surprise. Now, the cold weather shouldn't have caught anyone by surprise because we've been warning people that it was going to be really cold this morning.
Yeah, and of course, as they just mentioned, it could have contributed, this cold snap that we were dealing with this morning anyway, to being able to hear it even more so. But yeah, that was crazy this morning. I definitely did. It was actually where I was at. I was working out and the lights shook just a tiny bit. And it was like, oh yeah, I figured that's what it was and I was correct. But anyway, let's talk about this interesting weather. We rebounded quickly today. We were in the 40s by lunch after starting out in the 30s and then topped out at 52. Waco, as you can see, 8 below that average of 60 degrees. Live look at temperatures. Looks like most of us are still sitting in the lower 50s for the time being, but not for long. The sun is going to set very, very quickly now. I zoomed out because very clear that we have nothing going on weather-wise here in Texas that's very notable. Sitting in the lower 50s, jumping down into the 40s here shortly, and no precipitation. Neighboring states are also nice and clear. In fact, if you're catching a flight, unless you're going up to the far northeast, you are pretty much good to go. That is good news. Tomorrow's lows, in my opinion, this is good news anyway, because I just came from somewhere that the wind chill was like 15, and I'm ready for us to rebound and have a warming trend. We're not going to wake up in the low 30s. We're going to be more like low 40s. Maybe even upper 40s if you are far west of 35, as you can see, under partly cloudy of conditions. It will still feel chilly enough, of course, for a jacket. Here's our wind chill factor for the morning. Going to feel like about 38, 39 on average. We do have some clouds thrown into the mix. If you are far west of 35, you saw that earlier on this afternoon. So increase in cloud cover. Winds are staying out of the south. Partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day on Tuesday. Could see some breaks in the clouds, by the way. And we are on a warming trend, as I mentioned. Wednesday is one of our better shots for rain, and as you can see, it is an extremely slim one. If we see this precipitation hitting the surface, it is going to be likely a couple of sprinkles now and then. The chance is greater the further southeast and east that you go and towards East Texas and down towards Houston. So this is potentially what radar looks like. Again, sprinkles possible throughout the day on Wednesday. Cold front gets here on Thursday. Throughout the day, likely it's one of those fronts that stalls out to our north and eventually ends up making its way into South Texas. Now, dependent on when it decides to head from north to south, that could impact our temperatures. But just letting you know, we aren't going to have a very big temperature impact no matter what overall. It's not going to be like the last front that we saw, where we're going to see this dramatic shift. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So Tuesday, on a warming trend, we wake up in the 40s, mostly cloudy skies, no rainfall, but we top out in the 60s that afternoon tomorrow. On Wednesday, ahead of that front reaching us, likely it's sitting up in the Panhandle, and we could have a couple of sprinkles now and then. I think this model is being a little bit overzealous here. On Thursday, front blows through. Winds are going to be shifting out of the north. And yes, we are likely touching about 70 degrees. We are on a warming trend. That front isn't really going to do much for our temperatures. Over the weekend, very, very warm, as you can see, mostly dry of conditions. There is no significant chance to see widespread or precipitation as we do approach not only the first day of winter, also though, just outside of Christmas, you can see we are trending very, very warm. Look at that sunset, by the way. So beautiful. You can always get this 7-day free 24/7 on 6 Plus. Lindsay.
Whitney, thank you.